Get free shipping anywhere in the US at waytooslay.com. Fellas, have you ever been on the go and you realize you need to get an edge up or you need to get your beard trimmed up, but instead of sitting in a barbershop waiting around, you know you want to hook it up right then and there? Ladies, you ever had an unexpected function or a meeting coming up and you realize your nails need some TLC, but you just can't schedule that last-minute trip to the salon, but you're confident that you can hook them up on your own? You know you can do them by yourself. You already got everybody knocking down your door to get their hair and nails done anyway. Don't do all that by yourself. Get the proper tools at waytooslay.com. That's WAYTOSLAY.com, where you can get all your hair and nail needs met. For the men, they have clippers, shavers, edgers, nose hair trimmers, all at dirt cheap prices. For the ladies, they have all your manicure supplies, nail dryers, hair dryers, laser hair removers, lady shavers. And hey, if you're on your feet all day, you're doing hair all day, doing nails all day, they even have back supports to make your day more comfortable. Way Too Slay has free shipping if you're in the US. That's right, free shipping in the US. They even offer bundled items where you can get 2 items for the average price of 1 item, sometimes 3 items for the average price of 1 item. They've got high quality name brand items, but they're not in love with them. They really trying to get them out of the warehouse, and they put a good price on them. So hey, you need a last minute gift idea? Check them out at waytooslay.com and check out their Instagram, waytooslay, waytooslay.com. Thank you for tuning in to No Flag Radio. I'm your host, P. Delivering when I carry out. Today we talking about Marc LAME-mont Hill. Marc LAME-mont Hill is the recent sacrifice in the Coon brigade, the talented 10th. You know what I mean? He's a part of that talented 10th, that Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. Some say that nigga a boule sacrifice, no less, from CNN. And CNN basically said, man, fuck this nigga. He doing too much. You can go off on the police that say black people are prone to criminality. He went off on Harry Hoke, white supremacist law enforcement analyst. CNN said you can slur Frances Cress Welsing. You know, he slurred our ancestor Frances Cress Welsing in the wake of her passing, talking about her stance on homosexuality was quote unquote radical ridiculousness. That's when he really put his chips in the hat for white supremacy, in my opinion. Like, my God, that's when I knew he was gay. The whole world knew he was gay after that. What else did they say? They said, yo, you know, during the Cosby trial, when Cosby spokesmen were calling the trial the most racist and sexist trial in the history of the United States. Y'all remember Marc LAME-mont Hill and Jemele Hill, the Hills? They were saying, we need not interject race into the case. Basically, that black people who were up in arms about the railroading that eventually unfolded in the Cosby case, those kind of black people need to stand down from identifying the chief proponent of our victimization process under white supremacy, which is race. Don't identify the tool by which a white supremacist terrorist regime uses to triangulate and assail and dispatch its victims. Not gonna happen. Matter of fact, he went his black ass on CNN about the case saying, we need to remove the thought that men are naturally innocent. You know what I mean? Like, just really attacking masculinity. What world do he live in where men are thought of to be naturally innocent? Where the fuck he living at? Where he at? Especially black men. What example? What example can he give us? Shit, not in the family courts. All that goes to women. Not in the maternity ward. If you're present, Negro, you better sign the birth certificate. It's your baby. Especially not in the damn criminal courts. And that goes overwhelmingly and disproportionately out of the favor of black men. Shit, Kareem Hunt of the Kansas City Chiefs, goddammit, he was presumed the most guilty party after being schemed on by a would-be white party slut and her bevy of friends who were all underage and trying to catch him up with underage drinking and rape charges after jumping off a party bus. They say you can do all of that, Marc LAME-mont, but you say anything about Judaism, we gonna get you, boy. If you say anything going in on Judaism, Marc LAME-mont, cause he definitely lame, that's how we gonna get you, boy. The dominant society calls all kind of black people anti-Semites who aren't anti-Semite. They call Michael Jackson anti-Semitic, but Marc LAME-mont is no Michael Jackson. They called our ancestor Khalid Muhammad anti-Semitic, but Marc LAME-mont is no Khalid Muhammad. What's different about Marc LAME-mont is that he go in on black people. He a coon. Marc LAME-mont been stuck in that Westerbork that I mentioned in my Cosby video. He want to entertain whiteness. He wants to be the go-to spokesperson for when the dominant society has a desire to speak to black people or to hear from black people, but he's taking no safeguard to his own people or to his own people's presence when we're brought up in media to an extent to where he's effective for real. He's a flip-flopper, in my opinion, like Stephen A. Smith. He's an opportunist. He jumps when the iron is hot enough for him to see his name in the news cycle for 5 days or whatever. Like when the Baltimore riots was going down, he went out there and started kicking it with the Bloods and Crips, talking about, yeah, I'm trying to get everybody together and stop beefing for a little bit. Making his little photo op, making his little face present, that type of shit, man. He jumped when the iron hot type of motherfucker. Then he's back to being a black lackey whenever the smoke clear, or whenever he can get an opportunity to pounce when the chips are down for somebody black. Marc LAME-mont, he's young, but he's definitely a part of the old black media, in my opinion. He's a casualty that's in that graveyard like goddamn George Bush Sr. He's in the graveyard like George Bush Sr., y'all, you know what I mean? And there is no return, goddammit. So, I'm laughing at his ass. The whole thing is a racist ploy, of course. So if any of y'all thinking that this quote-unquote leftist station, CNN, or anything with quote-unquote left attached to it is remotely favorable to black people, you get your nigga moment vicariously through Marc LAME-mont. Congratulations to your dumb ass too. And notice Richard Spencer doesn't come up in CNN's indictment of anti-Semitism. He's a neo-Nazi, and he publicly and repetitively gets on some Nazi type of talk, Nazi rhetoric. What does CNN do? They give him an interview where he talks about how he want to bathe in white privilege and make white privilege great again, all this stupid ass dumb shit. When he did that interview with Cornel West, and Cornel West was, in that interview, he was really yucking it up too much for my taste during that interview. A lot of goofy ass laughing he was doing when he should have been doing some other shit. But CNN, they're not labeling Richard Spencer anti-Semitic, saying no, you don't never get no camera time. They humanize his ass by giving him an interview and giving him, probably got more interviews scheduled on the network. CNN is the same network that came under fire for calling Richard Spencer a white rights activist. You think Marc LAME-mont is gonna get another interview on CNN so he can humanize himself and add contour to what he was saying about Palestine needing to defend against Israel? Because that's what the whole issue was about, talking about, hey, look, they've been getting bombed on and all this shit by the Israel state. They need to fight back. No, he's not gonna get that chance to humanize himself. White supremacist society is gonna let his message of people standing up for themselves get cross-contaminated somehow. They recognize Marc LAME-mont was old black media-esque. You understand? They recognize he was a weak link in black society outside of his media antics. That his heart pumps slushy mix. And they said, fuck him. Ain't nobody gonna miss his black ass from the black community, and we sure won't. Him getting fired is our damn Hanukkah gift. So what are we to learn from Marc LAME-mont, y'all? First of all, that struggle cape and shit trying to cape for everybody's struggle. That shit does not pay under a climate of white supremacy. Marc LAME-mont has been beating this Palestine horse since about 2014 from my research. He been getting his ass in a screw about it. And good old Ted Turner Broadcasting, who owns CNN, they decided, get your bitch ass out of here talking that talk. Whenever white supremacist society feels black media coming out in support of some what they call quote-unquote anti-Semitic shit, they go and paint something negative around it. It's like what they did with Farrakhan, talking about he made a speech saying anti-Semitic things. They keep misreferencing that shit in white supremacist media. They keep playing only 1/16 of the goddamn comment he made, purposely to paint negativity around him. You see what they do? They'll just jump at any bit possible to paint something negative about black people when it comes to the anti-Semitic shit. If you black and you saying something that they mildly misconstrue as some shit. Us in the new black media, we ain't gonna let them do that to somebody like Farrakhan. Now Marc LAME-mont, shit, you know, when he's shown occasion after occasion that he's a Waverly boy, you know what I mean, that he's willing to play ball with white supremacist narratives on certain issues. That's how they got him. That's how they assessed him to be a turncoat, an opportunist, way back. This Palestine thing was just a light catalyst for them to pull off what they already wanted to do to him anyway when he started up this pro-Palestine talk. We say all the time that white supremacist terrorist society knows why black people smile in their face and kiss ass. They know ass kissers when they see them, and they don't respect what they think they trying to build. You don't know? Marc LAME-mont tried to build a long-standing name in journalism off using the gigahertz signal provided by white supremacist media outlets like CNN, like Fox, his former employers. And with that comes, you gotta agree with anti-black narratives. You gotta be on some pro-white narrative. You gotta be on some anti-black heterosexual male narratives, anti-black familial legacy building. You gotta be anti-pro-black lobbyism. You gotta be anti-black first politics, a whole slew of things that Marc LAME-mont agreed to at sign-on time when he first got down with all that little shit. But he cross-contaminated his cash flow with his need to be the one-up nigga, the nigga that cape for Arabs. What a dumbass way to go out. So you have no home with black society, LAME-mont, just because you call out Steve Harvey and Kanye for standing with Trump at the White House. That ain't enough. Even a baby could make that conclusion. You played a losing game, Marc LAME-mont, because of the side you chose. Now you gotta ride on that side to the graveyard that they've prepared for your kind of Negro over there on their side. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I'm dropping. Get it, y'all.